Hi, I'm Kyle, a product designer at GitLab on the Secure team. Our design team is currently doing an audit of all of our product stages and documenting our key user tasks, also known as jobs to be done. After we audit our features, we will be making recommendations for improvements. We're calling this our Baseline Experience Initiative, and we'll be updating and auditing and creating recommendations quarterly as we continue to iterate and improve our features. Today we'll be checking out one of our secure features, license management, which is a feature that's included in our Ultimate tier. It's important to note that this feature is at a very early stage and is currently considered as an MVP. To put it more into context, the primary user we are designing for would work in an organization's web security department. Roles that would benefit would have titles such as security analysts, security engineers, or compliance officers. Although for smaller organizations that might not have a dedicated security department, this feature may be handled by the CTO, principal developer, or lead developer. License management is intended for compliance purposes. We want the UX to provide organizations an ability to enforce license compliance and be accountable, while the developers are responsible in complying with the organization's rules. Okay, let's take a look at this. First, I just want to mention that there is some configuration needed to activate the feature. I won't go into too many details, but it involves adding a template file to your project files. In this review, we'll assume that this has been done already. Okay, the first job to be done is for a person that's responsible for compliance. The job is the following. I want to be able to approve or blacklist licenses so that any new commits to comply with the organization's terms and license compliance. There are two ways of thinking about this. One is proactive management, where the user managing compliance can create and approve blacklisted licenses prior to any commits in a project. And then there's a reactive way as well, which is done when new licenses are committed and the user can decide at that point to approve or blacklist an item. First, we'll take a look at the proactive one, which would be in our settings. Okay. Right now we're on the project page. From here, the user is looking for the license management settings. They would go to settings and then CI/CD and then the license management section in there. It's hard to say, but this may not have been a clear path for the user. They may, if they were the one that did the configuration setup, they may have remembered from the documentation, but if they were unaware about this path to this settings right here may not have been obvious. Okay, now that we're here in the license management section, we'll just go ahead and expand that and take a look at what we have. Okay, I have a note here that's telling me that there are currently no approved or blacklisted licenses in this project. All right, well, I'll go ahead and add one. Okay, so we added it, and I see that there's a drop down. I'll take a look at that. Okay. It looks like there's a number of already preset licenses in here. I'll just go ahead and choose one that I know would be okay, and that would be the MIT license. I will approve that, and now submit. And it looks like that added it to the table. So this would manage approved and blacklisted licenses for this project. It's not clear to me exactly what would happen next though, as a result of approving it, but let's just take a look at this a little bit more. Can blacklist it as well, okay. And I'm guessing that that would delete it. Okay, yes, this looks like it removes the license from the table. What if I didn't see the license on here, and let's say that it was called, let's just make up a name called custom name and pretend that was a license. It's not clear to me if I couldn't find the license I was looking for, what to do. But if I just typed it in here and then hit enter, it does seem to accept this custom entry. But that wouldn't have been obvious to the user, and I'm not really sure if it can work. But let's test it, and let's say that we want to blacklist this one. Oh, okay, it did work. But it's unclear to me how this would work, though, and how the scanning detection would find this license. Again, it was relatively easy to add in licenses from the preset list here, but I'm not really sure what would be happening with next steps if I went to all this work to add and to classify approved or blacklist licenses. It's not really clear to me what that would do. Okay, so now that we've set things up here, we've added a license, we've blacklisted one, we've approved one. Let's take a look at the reactive experience of when new licenses are detected from a commit and a merge request. So I will just go over to this project. What we're looking at now is a merge request. And in the merge request, we have the widget that's stating when the request is made. It has a pipeline. This approve is part of our group approvals feature. And then right here is the merge call to action button, but right above it, there is some signal that license management detected 2 new licenses. So this is pretty good because it brings prominence of the 2 newly detected licenses right next to the merge request. Let's take a quick look at this. And one thing that is worth mentioning is the screen that we're now looking at, the merge request, and the previous one, the settings one, could be performed by a maintainer of the project or above. So anyone who has that level would be able to view this following screen. We'll take a look at just a participant below the maintainer level and see what their view would be like in a second. So I expand this, and I'm assuming that the 2 list items are new licenses detected, but it's unclear to me what the categorization of them are. It says LGPL, so I'm guessing that's the license, and it's used by Sidekick. So that could be the package that it's in, but again, it's not immediately clear to me, and I'm a little thrown off by the icons because I'm assuming that the X means that it's not allowed, but that is, there could be a lot of confusion about that. And then there's a sort of oval shape here, or a circle shape, excuse me, and I'm not really sure what exactly that means. So let's just click this and see what's there. Okay, so this is asking me approve license, and then it has the license name and a URL. Let's take a look at that. Okay, it looks like this is the actual license information for me to read through. That's pretty helpful. And it shows me the packages that it's used for. So that's the source of the license. And it looks like I can approve the license here. But I'm not really sure what that means. Is that similar to the approval button we saw in the merge request widget? I'm just not sure. It's not clear to me what this action would do. I'm guessing that it would approve it for this merge request. Let's just take a look at this one. Oh, okay. So this is prompting me the same way as the other one, which is approve license. And then down here, there's a new call to action that says blacklist. So I can blacklist or approve it. So while in reality, this is actually creating a rule that would work across all projects, that's not really clear here. It seems like it could be only relevant to the merge request versus actually, if I hit blacklist license or approve license, that would actually create that rule across projects. But that's not clear here. Let's go ahead and approve it. Okay, so now there's a check mark here. And so now I'm guessing that the X means blacklisted, but it's hard to tell. All right, if I was a user that was not a maintainer, if I opened one of those, what I would see is a similar modal, although it's just the header is different. It's not prompting me with a question. It's just showing the license URL and packages, and it's not really giving me a clear call to action, or I'm not able to do anything. So this may be the day-to-day developer that's just committing new work, and now these licenses were detected. But for this user, they're not really, it's not really clear for what actions they should take as a result of this, nor does it give them contact information of someone in their organization that they should approve this with. But it does look like the merge button is active and that they're able to push this forward regardless of the new licenses detected, even though one has an X icon, which would still be pretty unclear to the user in terms of what that means and what they should do as a result of it. Well, that concludes our audit of the license management feature. As I mentioned, the feature is at a very early stage and there's a lot of exciting improvements. One thing we're working on is making some small changes around this merge request to clarify some of the challenges that we walk through, as well as actually disallowing a merge request if a certain new detected license has been blacklisted. So certainly more to come on that, and this video will quickly get outdated. In any case, I really appreciate you checking out the video. We'd love to get your thoughts and feedback and any ideas about improvements. And I listed the issues that we are documenting this into I linked them below in the description, so feel free to make a comment there. Anyway, thank you.